All right, y'all. Homeland Security here. Gonna decode another Jim Morrison Doors prophecy. Not quite as prophetic that it is a revelation of who he was, who he represented. But the song is Texas Radio and the Big Beat, or Wasp, W-A-S-P. There's many lyrics in here that reveal his divine nature. Some call it heavenly in its brilliance. That's one of the words. So Jim having knowledge of heaven and what it's like. It's brilliant light. We've constructed pyramids in honor of our escaping. So that is a reference to the Anunnaki that seeded Earth and then escaped back to Orion, where heaven is on. Anunnaki literally means those who came from heaven. Another lyric out here, we as stoned immaculate. So that's a reference to, Jim obviously used marijuana. I do too, for creative and communicative purposes with the spiritual realm. So he's saying out here, we use this drug stoned to commune with immaculate. So our mother, Mary, is the Immaculate Heart. So in end times, which we're in right now, there's no question about it. I mean, we just had an 8.8 earthquake in Russia, massive volcanic eruption, massive tsunamis. Those are the birth pains, the water events, waves and seas roaring. Okay, so this is the very beginning of the end prior to the rapture, which will probably be on 9/23/25. It's the birth date of a special lady that was brought to the world for a special purpose. I'll tell you about heartache and the loss of God. So Jim was saying part of Jim's substance use was being disconnected from the heavenly realms and coming to this place and be like, what the hell? These people are nuts. They're having wars. They worship money. They worship this, celebrity, whatever it is. Meager food for souls for God. So he's talking about this total disconnection with the spiritual realm, souls for God, and spiritual food, right? And it's meager down here, meaning that it's scarce. So part of Jim's job in his life was to bring truth from the other kingdom, which he paid for. Ultimately, Satan figured out who he was, and I think that's what led to his young death and fame and those kind of things, substance use. But tell you about the maiden with wrought iron soul. So this is a reference to our mother Mary and just how powerful and strong she is. So people wonder, like, where do I get my strength? I get it from her. So I hear some people talking, they even have rapture shows saying, you can't pray to Mary, that's idolatry. She's not alive. She's not in the kingdom. Absolute nonsense. She's fully resurrected, fully glorified, sitting right at the throne, right next to the Father. No eternal reward will forgive us now for wasting the dawn. So he's saying we got to get to work if we're going to save this place, right? And our eternal reward won't matter if we waste our time down here languishing in our mission, right? Let's see what else. That's pretty much it, but it's another great song. It's one of my favorites. Great beat to it. So let's, you'll hear my voice is the same. Tell you about Texas Radio and the Big Beat. Comes out of Virginia swamps, cool and slow, with plenty of precision, with a back big, narrow, and hard to master. Some call it heavenly in its brilliance, others mean and rueful of the Western dream. I love the friends I have gathered together on this thin raft. We have constructed pyramids in honor of our escaping. It's the land where the Pharaoh died, a reference to Egypt and the pyramids, with the Anunnaki built. Negroes in the forest, brightly feathered, they are saying, forget the night. live with us in force of azure. Out here in the perimeter there are no stars. Out here we are stone, immaculate. To this, I tell you about heartache. Tell you about the heartache and the loss of God. Tell you about the hopeless night, meager food for souls forgot. Tell you about the maiden with wrought iron soul. I tell you this, no eternal reward will forgive us now for wasting the dawn. You got a wrought iron soul, Gabriel? Yeah? I'll tell you this, no eternal reward will forgive us now for wasting the dawn. Listen to this, I tell you about the Texas, I tell you about the Texas radio, I tell you about the hopeless night, wandering the western dream, tell you about the maiden with wrought iron soul. Yeah, mama.